You are listening to the 501st Cast, the official podcast of the 501st Legion. Stay tuned to global news from the front lines of the Empire as the men and women of Vader's Fist celebrate decades of promoting Star Wars, honing the art of costumes and props, and contributing to the community through charity and volunteer work.
Give me regular reports, please. Right.
And here are your hosts. Take it away, troopers.
Copy that.
All right, troopers, welcome to the 501st Cast, the official podcast of the 501st Legion, Vader's Fist. The orders are in, the shuttle is fueled, and your deployment begins now. My name is Anthony Pizzuto, SL 22381 of the Northeast Remnant Garrison, and today I am joined by...
Mike Hinton, TK 5351 from Garrison Carida.
Mikey Bouchereau, TB 60614 of the Bluegrass Garrison.
And I'm Matt Schraeder, TB 99920 from Starkiller Garrison. Tossing it back to you, AP, for our Legion by the Numbers segment.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. All right. Now for your latest Imperial personnel report. This month, the ranks continued to grow, though at a slightly more relaxed summer pace. We added 49 active troopers, a 370 basis point increase, bringing fresh reinforcements into the Legion. On the wardrobe front, we added 95 new costumes, bringing the grand total to 35,020 approved costumes across the galaxy. That marks a 270 basis point month-over-month increase. Now, this is by far the lowest increase in both active troopers and approved costumes since we began tracking back in March. But we'll just chalk that up to the sunny summer months. Even the Empire apparently takes a little shore leave.
Shore leave or planet leave? I'm not sure of the official terminology. I don't know how we go with that.
Shore trooper leave, maybe? I don't know.
For shore troopers, it works.
Oh, yeah, right. So, as for this month's tactical highlights, TIE fighter pilots saw the biggest movement with 12 new pilots joining the ranks. So, once again, the skies remain secure. And then right behind them were 12 new Imperial officers, which means the chain of command is stronger, sharper, and somehow still requesting the proper forms in triplicate. And then tied for third place with 9 new additions each are the Stormtroopers, Imperial crewmen, and the Bounty Hunters. So that means the ground forces are holding steady, the Death Star hallways are properly staffed, and the galaxy's most independent contractors are still answering the call. For the right price, of course. So while growth may have slowed a bit this cycle, the Empire continues to expand. The numbers are up, the mission carries on, and reinforcements are still reporting for duty. More news after this.
I'm TS29192 from the Northeast Remnant Garrison. You're listening to the 501st Cast.
All right. Well, we don't have much news right now, but the newest CRLs have not changed since last month. The Imperial archives remain unchanged, with no new costume reference libraries added since our last episode. But remember, CRLs are constantly being refined and updated, so keep an eye on your detachment boards and the 501st forums for the latest deployments.
So I have a latest CRL for you. Have you all seen the Road to the Hut Spirit Halloween costume? It is gold.
Yeah.
Come on. That just gives me a little bit more hope that one day we might get a Jabba the Hutt costume. Just not inflatable.
I mean, this costume is pretty classic, AP. I mean, we were talking about it beforehand, but
yeah. I mean, the little hand sticking out. Come on, come on, Mike. Press that buy button. Press the buy button.
I don't know.
Look,
it could easily be transported to Celebration, or if you have to travel with a costume.
You know what? Here it is. You just said it. Easily transported to Celebration. It may make an appearance at the Bash or something. You're adding to cart right now. That's how I roll. Just like, let's do it.
Channel my best Palpatine. Do it.
Yes. And I mean, listen to the first 5-star, the one and only review, which is 5 stars from user R Hut. He says, "It will remain on my person for my wedding, the birth of my first son, and when I die, I will be buried as Road to the Hut and will rise again as Road to the Hut." So this guy is clearly a big fan. GMLs, look out.
Yeah, this will not be approved. I can tell you that, but it's. I just purchased it.
Could it be in universe? Could it be in universe? They were sold, the kids who were
fans. Yeah, there are fans of Rhoda. I'm gonna say it was in universe. I'm a fan of Rhoda and his gladiatorial challenges, and I'm just a super fan. That's what it is. It's in universe. It works now.
Sold.
Oh boy, let's move on.
Trooper of the month.
And it's time to talk about the Trooper of the Month. So for June of 2026, it was Sean Tekratoki. At least I'm hoping that's how you pronounce his name. We'll have Sean on in a minute, or a little bit, so he can correct us there. He is BH13626, which makes me a little bit nervous now that he's a bounty hunter, because if I just mispronounce his name, as long as there's no pucks out for me.
Right.
So he is from Star Garrison's North Texas Squad. Sean was nominated by Jamie Ramos, TS10257, Star Garrison's commanding officer, and a 501st Legion event coordinator, who praised Sean's remarkable impact despite being one of the Legion's newest members. Approved as Dinjarin just a few months ago, Sean has already logged more than 25 troops. That's impressive.
That is.
Most
Wow.
impressive.
Oh.
He volunteered behind the scenes at events, mentored prospective recruits, and shared his armor building expertise to help others achieve approval. Did he have the armorer's help, though? And did he use Beskar? That's my question. But when Star Garrison's forums unexpectedly crashed, he stepped up and helped restore more than 25 years of Garrison history and rebuild the Garrison's website from the ground up, ultimately joining the web team as a webmaster. That's jumping in with 2 feet and hitting the ground running.
Yeah, good for him. That's fantastic.
Can we throw in a few more cliches? I'm running out of them.
Yeah.
So. But in his nomination, Jamie summed it up perfectly, saying, "The amount of dedication Sean has shown in such a short time reminds me of the way we all should be, giving and selfless." And so it's a sentiment that is reflected in everything that Sean has accomplished, both in armor and behind the scenes. So congratulations to Sean on being named the 501st Trooper of the Month. And thank you for everything you do for Star Garrison and making the Legion whole and a much stronger community.
Go, Sean.
Ooh, good job. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations, Sean.
I love rolling up the sleeves and helping rebuild the website, too. That's pretty fantastic.
How do you roll up bounty hunter sleeves, though?
Well, yeah, I think you have to slide them up, maybe.
You slide the gauntlets up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
the
kinda,
gauntlets
yeah,
up,
they move. Or maybe they just take them off, even though, like, it's part of the religion, weapons. And I don't know.
You have to leave the
long as the
helmet
helmet
on
stays
and
on.
the gauntlets.
They probably have Velcro. I picture bounty hunters like sleeveless.
they just like their whole sleeves and the armor just like slide off. It's like, all right, now everything else but the sleeves are on. They're ready to go.
Are they like
So they work out.
Chippendales? The Chippendales of bounty hunters?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I was thinking more like 80s action heroes, but Chippendales.
those
you know,
But
you could-
there's that
Rip
too.
sleeves, workout. Like, yeah, let's do this. Like,
They
feel
go
like
with the bow
just-
tie
I don't
under
know.
the helmet. I'm just,
Yeah, exactly. A Beskar bow tie. There we go. A Best tie.
we
Sorry.
go.
Okay. Sorry. Mikey.
Nitro,
Okay. Moving on.
where's our note from Nitro is typing now?
he's not here to reel you guys in. Nope.
Oh my God. All right. So next we have the crew of the quarter, which is the Lilac City Comic Con 2026 planning and execution group from Havoc Squad, Garrison Titan. Nominated by Dave Nivrak Turner, TI32070, squad leader of Havoc Squad. This outstanding team includes, brace yourself, a lot of numbers are coming, TK13717, BH14710, BH47129, DZ74131, BH13087, TI23737, SL17737, IG48220, TI15116, TI69157, ID24999, TB5715, and TI32070. If I mispronounced any of your numbers, I do apologize. So looking to improve on previous years, the team completely reimagined their convention experience with new interactive activities, expanded displays featuring original sets and props, an educational panel for prospective members, I love that, and a silent auction that boosted charitable donations by nearly 50%, I love that even more. Their efforts welcomed nearly 6,000 attendees to the exhibit while raising $2,700 for Spokane Shriners Children's Hospital, a testament to what can be accomplished through collaboration and a shared commitment to service. Congratulations, team.
And just as a little aside here, that I have worked with, I've done troops with the Shriners before, and they do such great work. So Havoc Squad has my official seal of approval for that, as if they needed it, but you have it.
Everybody wants validation from Matt Schraeder, okay? So go Lilac Squad. In his nomination, Dave wrote, "The planning group took up the challenge by bringing new props and energy to the display. That spirit of teamwork, creativity, and giving back perfectly embodies what the crew of the quarter is all about." So congratulations to the entire Lilac City Comic-Con 2026 planning and execution group on being named the 501st Legion Crew of the Quarter.
Trooper of the Month interview.
And now we are here to talk with the aforementioned Sean and Jamie. So, gentlemen, welcome to the 501st cast.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So,
Happy to be here.
It's good to have you. And Sean, congratulations on winning Trooper of the Month. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
And after reading all the stuff that Jamie wrote about you, give you the golf clap of round of applause. So first thing though, how do you gentlemen know each other? I assume it's through the 501st.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and speak, but yeah, like Jaime is our commanding officer for Star Garrison. So yeah.
And Sean, how did you? Oh, go ahead, Jamie.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
I was going to do different things, so go ahead and finish your thought.
All I was gonna say is, we met each other through the Legion, obviously, when we put out a call for web help when we had some issues with our forums. So Sean was one of the members alongside with some others that stepped in and gave us a hand. So we appreciated him greatly for that.
Excellent. And Sean, how did you learn about the 501st?
I mean, I've always known about, the 501st for years. I mean, like my grandpa was they're up in Washington State, but he was more of like a Trekkie. And so like he used to dress up as like a Cleon and walk in the city, like parade and stuff. And so, I mean, I've known about the 501 for years. So it was just a matter of time for me to join. So. Yeah.
So what was it that made you pull the trigger?
So it actually took because I had been making the Mandalorian helmets for like years, and then it took actually a event called Space Dive that happens around like May the 4th in Detroit. And so like one of my buddies like lives there, and he was like, hey, like you should make full on like Dinjarin armor and like come, and that was like the start of it. So it was like summer or May of last year. I was like, all right, well, I mean, I guess it's time to join. So yeah, took the plunge and went through the process. But yeah,
is that your only costume that you have right so far?
As of right now, yeah. So we have way too many dens up here too. So I'm in the process of working on a couple alts. But as of right now, yeah, that's the only improved costume I have.
Well, you tease us with that. So what are the other alts? What's coming up?
I'm working on like Lando, of course with like Rebel Legion, but and then I'm kind of going back and forth like between like a Snowy or something else. So yeah, not sure yet, but working on it.
Jamie, which one should you go with? Do you have any advice for him? I have a suggestion, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah,
okay.
I think he should go with the Snow Trooper.
Yeah,
I was going to say a Scout Trooper, but I'm a little bit biased with that. But.
Okay, Scout. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
No, both are good because with the Stormtrooper is iconic, and I had a Stormtrooper that then is now a Sandy, but being able to sit down is a nice thing.
Agreed.
Yeah, like that and just the heat, right? Because I'm season 2, like Book of Boba Fett, and so I mean, of course, I can sit down, but it's just hot, Like, of course, and like it's Texas heat too. Like, there's been a couple of times I was like, I need to like sit down or just take like a breather. So, yeah.
Well, if you're looking for that cool costume, then Snowy is definitely what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That is extremely hot. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I've joked about doing the shirtless Kylo or the shirtless Darth Maul sometimes whenever we had extremely hot troops. It's like, man, I need to change.
Well, like one of our snow troopers here, they have a one of those like neck cooler fans, and I was like, oh, that's really nice. I was like, I can't have that.
Yeah, we have one up here, at least one up here who does that. The cow covers it so nicely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Sean, you really dove into everything, and you've done a lot of troops so far. Do you have a favorite troop And now I'm going to ask you two questions. One to be a favorite troop, and the other one's going to be a most memorable.
Definitely the most memorable ones was actually a fairly one of my first troops was like a St. Patrick's Day parade, and I was like, oh, like, you know, like I'm gonna do like a St. Patrick's Day parade and it's gonna be great. Well, it was like 90, like 94, like 95 degrees, and I was like, I need to sit down. I mean, I was like borderline like about to pass out. I was like, I don't know, you know, if I'll ever do like a parade, you know, like during that time of year again. And probably the most like, you know, like memorable one outside of that one was the DFW airport, like Star Wars Day or whatever, you know. And so like they invited us out. That one was really, really cool to be able to walk like the terminals and stuff. And, you know, they had on like the flight, the like TVs that show like all of the flight information, you know, they had like all of the different, you know, planets and stuff. And like, that was just a really cool troop. And that was my first time ever doing that. And so, yeah, as of right now, like those two are, yeah, it was really cool.
That's pretty unique, being able to go into an airport and get past security and all that.
Yeah. Well, it was really funny because I guess like historically, like they didn't make us go through like TSA, but this time they did. And so they were like, you know, what do you have that's metal on you? I was like, you know, I was just like, I mean, it's just like, you know, yeah, I mean, everything from like JJ, you know, Industries. And so, I mean, it's like real, like aluminum metal. I was like, everything. I was just so, and was like, there was something on Reddit that actually went trending where like someone like, what's like, you know, going on? And it's actually me going through like the actual like metal detector or whatever. And it was like, anyway, yeah, it was just really funny. But yeah.
Whenever they ask you, what do you have that's metal? It's like, it's shorter list what I don't have, what I have that's not metal than what I have that's metal.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I can, the list goes on, right? And so, yeah. But that was a good troop. That was a ton of fun. So.
And I'll open this next question up to both of you. Is there any advice you would give to other troopers?
I'll let you go first. Coming into the...
Uh-oh. How are you traveling? So the
enjoy the ride and slow down, and you know, everybody comes in guns blazing and super excited, but you know, there's always events and trips that that'll be around that you can go to. So you know, kind of ease into it and make some friends, and you know, establish those relationships with people, and you know, the good times will come.
And of course, it seems like Sean has not followed any of that advice, and it seems like it's working out for him. But that he's the exception because he's just awesome.
That's right. He's a madman for sure.
Yep, I'm trooping this weekend too. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, kind of echoing what you know Jaime was saying, like just just have a good time and you know, like make some good friends and you know, like for me too, you know, like putting on, you know, like. Den is, I mean, I probably take it a little, like, not like far, like in like the sense of like, okay, like that's too much, Sean, but like I really kind of like lean into him, right? From, I mean, I'm like studying, you know, like you know, his walks and, you know, how he stands and everything and just, you know, trying to, you know, emulate that. And so, yeah. But I'm a little more practical with it, but yeah.
Yeah, we've discussed that on this podcast before about how much do you get into, being that character and how much do you emulate it and going to like, you know, doing the walk or the stand. And I know there's a gentleman who's in both Ghost Base and Starkiller Garrison, so Western Pennsylvania, that he portrays Han Solo. And, you know, the word usage that he has is straight up out of what Han Solo would use. And just the way he stands, his swagger that he adopts versus whenever he is Count Dooku or his Imperial officer, that it's a complete switch. And he more plays the bumbling, goofy Imperial officer than the, you know, overly serious type thing, but also very incompetent. So it comes off as like a little comedy type thing. But he pulls it off very well.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, we've had the discussion before, you know, how much do you want to be Darth Vader? It's like, you know, how would Darth Vader act around little kids? Well, we're not going to quite do that, but getting like to his stance and some of his mannerisms and his gestures, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to end this, I have a couple of rapid fire, quick questions. I'm going to give them both to Jaime and you, Sean. So go through just a few of them here. First thing, favorite Star Wars movie?
I'm going to say Rogue One.
Really?
The Darth Vader scene at the end of Rogue One. Darth Vader at his most awesome. That's one of the most iconic scenes, I think, in Star Wars. You cannot beat that.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say the same thing, but just that scene alone, I was just like, there's been a handful of times that I've cried watching like movies, and of course, like my wife still is like, I can't believe you did that, but like she went, and I just, of course, like just like in like awe, just how amazing like that scene was. But yeah, I mean, I was going to say like Rogue One as well, but yeah.
Okay, favorite Star Wars vehicle?
I mean, I'm biased. I mean, any vehicle.
So
I love the Millennium Falcon. So
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go Razor Crest, obviously, because I'm just I mean, I love being Din, and I love everything about Din. So yeah. I mean, my like vehicle is named like Razor Crest as well, like my personal vehicle. So it's
Oh, you have to name your personal car. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But Jaime, having the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy, there's something special about that too. Yes. All right. Favorite Star Wars character? Although, Sean, I think I know what your answer is going to be.
Yeah. Jaime dropped off, but yeah, definitely Din Djarin's going to be my favorite. Yeah. I mean, like he was my favorite, like for like a while, like even before, of course I decided to be him. Right. And so, yeah. I mean, I just love like the gunslinger, space cowboy, like that whole thing. So big fan of it.
Are you also a fan of Westerns, like the Clint Eastwood stuff?
Yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, I could get into it. It's just I haven't had time, but I could see myself getting into it, like for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what all the Mandalorian stuff kind of reminds me of along those lines, or the good, the bad, and the ugly, fistful of dollars types things. The spaghetti westerns from back in I guess it was in the 60s. They made those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So next one, if you, all right, Dream World, you can have any costume. Money's not an issue. Wearing comfortability is not an issue. Which one do you take?
Oh man, that's tough. I really like, what is it? Captain Enoch. Like that's like just a really cool. I mean, I thought about like maybe like that could be like another like of course another face character, right? But I mean, I think that costume just looks really cool. I don't know, but it also looks really challenging too, like to get like to build that one. But yeah, because I build all of my armor, so yeah.
Yeah, it's like kind of unique armor that he has too, especially with the helmet.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got Jaime back. Jaime, the last question was, if you could have any costume, money does not matter, wearing comfortability does not matter, what would you go with?
That's a good question.
We ask the tough questions on this podcast.
I can tell. So I think a Chewbacca or a Black Chrysanthemum would be pretty cool to have. You know what I mean? But of course, the Chewie would be the version with C-3PO on his back. And C-3PO would be moving around and talking.
Having the like remote control thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Chewie that's in kind of eastern central PA, like around Reading, that he has the C-3PO going on his back. So it looks so great.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
And last question, which lightsaber color?
Red.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be red. Yeah.
Okay, you passed, so you get to stay in the Legion. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Jaime's traveling, so safe travels there. And Sean, again, congratulations, and keep on doing the good work.
Thank you.
I'm TK10568 from the Northeast Remnant Garrison, and you're listening to the 501st cast.
Thanks for that interview, which brings us to the honorary member induction. So we had 2 honorary member inductions since we last met. Nelson Lee on June 21st. Nelson portrayed politically cunning Senator Hamato. How do you even say that last name?
Hamato Ziono.
Ziono. Okay. On the Ahsoka series. The father of Kazuda from the Resistance. He was able to become the senator and cement himself as part of the Star Wars legacy. He was able to channel the Imperial intrigue and nuance of having fans dissecting every Senate debate. So he was inducted. I made my notes. He was inducted by the Mid-South Garrison, and it was organized by Michael Richardson, IC 37062. So congratulations to Nelson Lee from the Ahsoka series. And now this second one surprised me because I can't believe he was not inducted already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, no way. That's awesome. I'm glad for the Garrison that did it, but that's cool.
Right. It was Jimmy Smits. You know, our own Jimmy Smits, Princess Leia's dad.
Bail Organa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Jimmy Smith's first con. So Matt, what did you...
This might be why he was never inducted before. If he's never at a con, so there's your lesson. So here's your lesson for the day: go to more cons and good things happen,
and you get inducted.
At least for Jimmy Smits, it does.
Right.
Just wait till a second con and see what happens.
Yes. Well, he was inducted. He was inducted by Star Garrison and the Imperial Rough Rider Squad, organized by Chris Berman, James Garcia, Michelle Petty, and Jamie Ramos at SpaceCon. And he was incredibly kind, sincere. Jimmy Smith shares a rich spirit of charity, lauded among the members, co-founding the National Hispanic Foundation of the Arts to boost Latino representation in media. And he also advocates for cancer awareness research and equates access to treatment, especially after losing his father to cancer. Upon hearing of the fellow Legion members are given some unfortunate news very recently, a fellow member paid for an autograph for Jimmy, who wrote from the heart, whilst tapping on the spirit of Bale himself. I feel the member of the Star Wars family who has done so much for the community around him is a shining example of the 501st Legion, and I am personally honored to induct Jimmy Smits in this hallowed order. So yeah, I was extremely surprised that he was not a member.
Well, even though he's not really an Imperial, so maybe that played into it too, but
yeah,
we'll allow it.
But yeah, congratulations for that.
Mission reports.
We only have one mission report to talk about today. This was submitted by CX29295 from Starkiller Garrison. So it was a hospital visit to Pittsburgh Children's Hospital to the outpatient wing. So he says that the hospital visits are always special, and this one was no different. It was unique, however. Rather than visiting patients in their rooms, we were stationed in the outpatient area, greeting patients as they came to or left from their appointments. A few people asked us to visit the kids who were in the inpatient room, but we were too busy in the outpatient area. This says something about the impact that we can have during these visits. We were super popular, and they wanted more of us. So that's promising for setting up future visits. It also said that they had a decent turnout for a Tuesday morning featuring 2 Darth Vaders. Well, Darth Vader and a TIE pilot. Same thing.
Aww.
That is 2 Darth Vaders, isn't it?
Yeah, they really told
it happens. It happens.
Yep.
And if a little kid met the TIE pilot and thought it was Darth Vader, then it made the kid happier. I'm all for it.
Yes.
But what's concerning is
that little kid, it was Darth Vader, and that's okay.
But what happens when the tables turn and everybody starts thinking that Darth Vader is a TIE pilot?
Technically, he is, though.
I mean, he
good
is,
point.
though.
Well,
he is.
Yes,
he is.
Yes, he is. Yes, a bad one, but he is. Yes, he can't keep that ship straight.
I mean, he does spin out a little bit there, so you might be right on something. But I mean, that's also a good trick too. Spinning is a good trick, though. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he survived the Death Star from it, so who knows?
Right.
Grand Theft Trench Run.
This is TI 99914 of the Northeast Remnant Garrison, and you're listening to the 501st cast.
Which brings us to our question of the month, I guess, or our show. So last week's question was, what is one word or phrase that describes the 501st for you? So before we give our thoughts, we got a wonderful letter, an email, I guess, but we got a really nice email. First off, because it was exciting that we got an email, and secondly, because our emails work. I was blaming non-working emails all this time. Anyway, so it says, "Good evening, 501st cast team. In response to the question posted at the end of the June episode, I am writing to contribute my thoughts. First off, I have to stand by the classic adage of bad guys doing good. I think that characterizes the 501st Legion pretty succinctly, but since it's so well known and even used by your episode closing, I will exclude that one from consideration. We blame AP for we can't use it, but for that end. Anyway, instead of my answer, I will quote an email I received from a fan after MegaCon 2019. How many of you guys were in 2019 in the Legion?
Me.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we all were. We were all
good.
It was good.
All right, good. Who I met while dressing in my scout trooper and gave them my card as a follow-up communication. I pulled up the original email. Here it is. Here is an excerpt. And this is quote the email. Just want to thank you for being a member of the 501st. Most people enjoy the 501st because of love of Star Wars. For my daughter, she now loves Star Wars because of the 501st Legion. So that's the quote. And I said, it took the words to heart, and I keep them in mind when I troop. Even the low-profile, lightly attended events, even if in a small way, like fostering a love of a movie franchise, you will never know what effect a trooper might have on a passing patron. Here's another longer anecdote from January 2026 that exemplifies the above phrase, but no need to include it in the episode for time's sake. We have plenty of time. Okay. My son is 3.5 and went to Fort Lauderdale's Museum and Discovery Science New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, because he was a little kid. They wouldn't keep him up at midnight. He met stormtroopers, green and white, Chewbacca, and most importantly, Darth Vader. The green stormtrooper was the kindest person kindest person ever, and our child loved interacting, even though our child seemed afraid. Fast forward 6 months, and he still can't stop talking about Darth Vader. He listens to the Imperial March remixes several times a day. He has Stormtrooper and Darth Vader toy, one of each. He even says Dorothy is his best friend. This is from an interaction. One kid, I kid you not, of less than 15 to 20 minutes. Now, not a day goes by that doesn't talk about Darth Vader, Stormtroopers, or The Mandalorian. Did I forget to mention he never saw the movies and only loved the characters because of y'all? Yeah, we are very, very grateful for the group and the impact it has had on our son. Now that's the end of the letter. It says, I am proud to have been the Green Stormtrooper, i.e. 141st Elite Corps officer. Thank you all. Thanks for all of you guys do for the Empire. And that's Eric he's the executive officer of the Florida Garrison TK 14056.
Thanks,
and Eric was also the Trooper of the Month for April of 2026.
Yes.
And if you go listen to the June episode of the 501st cast to hear Eric's very touching story whenever we interviewed him, is about the impact they were able to have on a youngling who they met during a hospital visit. So, I mean, this is one of those times when I needed the helmet so I could hide the tears.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And it does you can't. All the troopers that are listening now, there's many times we're sitting at armor and you don't realize what good you've done. Especially depending on the costume, you might not even see the kid standing next to you getting a picture. You have that cone of blindness around your costume.
Yep. So very true. Yeah.
That's one thing I've learned through being in the 501st is that very often small acts on our part can have a big impact to somebody else.
Right.
And that's the true both in real life or, being in the 501st. You hold the door for someone who's having a bad day. Mm-hmm. Tiny little thing you do, but it can make a huge impact for them.
Yeah, and those little things too. Like, I mean, even just taking your helmet off or raising your visor for biker scouts and showing the kid that you're an actual person in there, and then giving them a high five, and they're just like, oh wow, they're real and they're not scary, even though like it can be scary. Right. But yeah, it's definitely something like just those small acts of kindness and getting to be real for them, because that's what we want to do, like share that magic. So definitely.
Trading cards also for getting kids to not quite be so scared.
Mm-hmm. I still don't have trading cards, but Mikey, I love how you, because the Scout Trooper is really like one of the only characters that are able to do that, like the only bucketed characters that can do that.
And they like to show that off.
Yes, they do, and that they can sit down.
Yeah, and they can sit down.
Yeah, hey, we got speeder bikes, we got a really cool visor. We also got ventilation with big old holes in the ears too. I mean, like it's a stellar costume.
When you find perfection, you stick with
it. But when we go to like the hospital troops and things like that, to your point about showing people that you are real and there is a little bit of humanity behind you, even as Darth Vader, and Matt, you probably do this as well. We kind of goof off, but in character goof off. We do the high fives where, Darth Vader would never high five a youngling, but like we kind of show that humanity to make it easier to be approachable, to kind of dial down the tears a little bit for that kid, so they know that it's okay to interact with the Dark Lord himself. So
you don't slaughter younglings when you're
not at the hospital troops, but at other like the walks and stuff. Yeah, those definitely.
Yeah, that's why they can't get out of line when they're doing the walks. Like just young.
Well, I was trooping with a guy. Now he's in the Mando Mercs, but he was telling me he had some people come up with their son. And the guy pulled out his phone and he said, our screensaver is a picture of you with our son last year at this time.
That's nice.
That's awesome.
And so, it is. And depending on where we live, some of us live in smaller communities. When we do those smaller events, some of those kids, that's the closest they're going to come. Not every kid gets to go to Disney. Not every kid gets to, go. And so it's the closest they're going to get to seeing a Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So who wants to go first on answering the question?
Oh yeah, so I'll go first. I've been in the longest. I'll go first because my kids were raised. So I would say I for a while I used to say family, but I also, depending on who you are, family isn't always a positive thing. So I'm going to say community, in the sense that my kids grew up with. Like especially in my kids' ages like 6 to like 10, every weekend they were trooping, and that's the people they met. That was their uncles or aunts, or they were Jawas for half the day, and then we went after, and that was our, that. So I would definitely say a community for me.
Love that.
Okay.
I'll go expensive. No.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I just blocked that part out.
Truth.
No, I'll echo with what Mike said with the family, community, togetherness, take your pick. That I met some amazing people being in the 501st, and have some very close friends because of it. So yeah, it's a group of people who have a shared goal of making other people happy through dressing up and sharing our love of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's bad guys doing good. So I'm going back to Eric's thing. That's not just one word, but we could like hyphenate it maybe. I don't know.
Which says phrase. It does say word or phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't want to say community because you said it, and I don't want to say family because it is like my stickers say a family that troops together sticks together, like that's what it is. But I almost want to say responsibility. When you wear that, like we're representing a brand, right? Like, so there is an awesome responsibility we have, and on top of it too, you have this awesome responsibility to showcase something to someone who may never get a chance. Like, I'm in the middle of Kentucky, right? And I grew up in Southern California where like I was down the street from Disneyland. So like the experience of like seeing a, a stormtrooper, like that was not a big deal, like living in Orange County. But when I moved here, I quickly realized like there's a good chance, like I've done troops at my daughter's school, and it's like there's a very good chance that some of these kids will never, ever get the opportunity to see a Disney character in person. They'll never get to see a Darth Vader. They're never going to see a biker scout. Heck, we've brought props to like the elementary school and have them sit on a speeder bike. Like that's something they'll never get to do again. Whereas like if you go to Florida, Disney World, like they have that. So I think it's an awesome responsibility we have to represent the brand, to share our passion with our community, and just bring smiles to people. And I think that's where I would say there is a responsibility being in the 501st.
I love that.
And Mikey, you said about being in Kentucky and where you get to meet some of the kids. That living in northern West Virginia, that I'll go different places throughout West Virginia and even in the Pennsylvania and the more rural areas. That there's some kids that I've met year after year after year, and I'll give a card and I'll talk. The dad's like, "There's like, he's got 3 of them of yours already. They're still like lined up in his mirror or on his dresser, and there's 4 for you." But they come out and they remember us from the time before, and they specifically come and look for us. Like, do you remember me from last year? I remember you, and it's a big deal.
Oh yeah, no, there's some events we do annually here. There's one in Mount Washington, Kentucky, which is south of our big city of Louisville. It's south of us by about 40 minutes or so, and it's a blood drive because there was a child who had cancer. We're part of Seth's squads. We were there helping him out through it, and but every year, like he actually he's now a little bit older, but he now plans this blood drive because it helped him so much when he was going through what he was going through, and we were part of it. So he always invites us, and so we're there, and every year, like seeing him, and there's people that come out every year, like they're so excited to see us again, and like they've gotten, just like you, they have the cards, they brought their kids to it because they know like they're going to be giving blood, and their kids are going to get to hang out with stormtroopers or a droid or something that like they know that comes every year. But it is something where it's like the people that know us and see us and they get that experience, like there is that responsibility to like represent what we do, because it's not just dressing up for the sake of dressing up. It's giving back to your local community and sharing your passion. We all have a passion for Star Wars. We love that, but sharing that passion with our community and bringing community closer together. And I think that's why I say it's a responsibility. Like as much as it's family, as much as it is community, there is that responsibility with it. So thank you, Matt. Yeah.
And with great responsibility comes great power. Or is it the other way around?
There you go.
I think it's the other way around.
I think for my word, since I'm just going to stick with the word theme versus the trying to get into phrases at this point. I was going to do passion, but I think charity is more important to me. And it's not, just because we also raise money for charity, but we're charitable with our time. We're charitable with our resources. We are charitable with our passion. And even when it comes to being charitable with our time, it's, we all live very busy lives. Some of us have, kids, some of us have jobs that are very time consuming. But we find the time, to donate to the cause, whether it's helping a fellow trooper, get accepted through the process, or educate them on how to do a certain, stitch, or which vendor to go to, or provide tutorials or space for people to build. We're charitable with our time when we go out to these hospitals or libraries or walks or schools to bring that passion to life. And we are charitable with our money and our ability to fundraise for Starlight and for Make-A-Wish or whatever our local garrisons are raising money for. And to me, that's like one of the most important things, is that we are able to use the power of Star Wars, and use that to generate excitement and to generate funds for these great nonprofit organizations. So when I think of the Legion, I think of charity and the other things that you all brought up too.
One, I think the Legion has made me more charitable in the sense that I don't know if I was on the trajectory of being overly charitable. I didn't give, if someone would have had me give time, I don't know if I was before I did this,
It's a good point.
And then it taught my kids to give charity anonymously, which I'm a big fan of. Because no one knows who you are. You spend all day, people are throwing their kids at you and getting pictures, and as soon as you suit down, you're like invisible.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally like I've had many troops like that. I mean, there's a big picnic we do for a children's home here, and like everyone comes to our booth because there's a bunch of us in the costume. But as soon as we go to the change room, get down and kind of just walk through, you can walk through the picnic with everything. No one knows who you are, but like when you were walking back to that changing room, you got stopped. It took you 25 minutes so you can de-kit, but yeah, on walking back, you're just a normal person in the crowd, and it's really nice to be able to be that face in the crowd, just see the interaction with it. So I agree. I love charity as a word to describe the Legion. Speaking of our topic of the month, we want to hear from you. Send us ideas for topics that you want to hear about, interview suggestions, or even just well wishes. For now, help us kick off our next episode. Email, call, or message us answers to the following questions. So this is for next month. What is the best after troop meal tradition in your area? Ooh. All right. So write us at podcast@501stcast.com, or you can give us a call. Use country code +1 to leave us a voicemail at 1-551-501-TALK. That is 1-551-501-8255. You can also message us on Facebook at facebook.com/the501stcast. All these can be found on our home on the web at 501stcast.com.
So that wraps up this episode for the 501st Cast. I'm Matt Schraeder, TB99920 from Starkiller Garrison.
I'm Mikey Bouchereau, TB60614 from the Bluegrass Garrison.
And I'm Mike Hinton, TK5351 from Garrison Carida. Chris Nitro couldn't be here but he's TR82065 from the Northeast Remnant Garrison.
Thanks, Mike. And I'm Anthony Pizzuto, SL22381 from the Northeast Remnant Garrison as well. And until next time, keep your armor clean, your blasters charged, and remember, we're the bad guys doing good. Thanks for tuning in.
The 501st Legion is a worldwide Star Wars costuming organization comprised of and operated by Star Wars fans. While it is not sponsored by Lucasfilm Limited, it follows generally accepted ground rules for Star Wars fan groups. Star Wars, its characters, costumes, and all associated items are intellectual property of Lucasfilm. Copyright and trademark Lucasfilm Limited. All rights reserved. Used under authorization. Please don't sue us.